Florida State flipped five-star defensive lineman Armondo Blount last month from Miami, but rumors are already swirling that Blount and Miami are back in contact. So in this video, we're going to find out if there's trouble with Blount's commitment to FSU. I'm bringing on Warchant insider Michael Langston to talk about the impact of FSU's 12-0 season and how the Noles could finish down the stretch. Some five-star flips on the radar. All right, but first, FSU fans, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. I'm trying to grow this thing, want you to be a part of it, so hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on my guy, Michael Langston from Warchant. Yep. Mike, we're going to hit on Armondo Blount in a second. We're going to talk all about that drama, but first, five-star LJ McCray committed to UF over FSU about a month ago, but last night, UF fired their defensive line coach, Sean Spence. Primary recruiter on McCray. Is FSU still in contact? Is this recruitment still alive?
Oh yeah, they're very involved, and I think this from the FSU circles. I wouldn't say the FSU staff, but I'd say the FSU circles. They felt like this was coming, that that would be opening there, so they knew. They've stayed on him pretty hard. Obviously, he committed to Florida for several reasons. I know Florida's looking different angles and trying to use that. Certainly, I'm really focused on who the hire is. I think that really is going to tell a lot, that if there's not a tie to LJ McCray, I think this thing's going to get pretty interesting. If it's not somebody that has a history with him, but if it is, then I think they can calm the storm and they could probably keep him. But if it's not somebody, I think FSU has always been a school that was high on his mind, and what their season's doing, they're tearing it up, 12-0, going to play for an ACC title, maybe the college football playoff. So I think really, to me, it's the hire.
All right. Now, there is some confidence coming out of Gainesville that they can hold on to LJ McCray. Do you think it's important, or do you think it's mandatory that FSU gets him back on campus before the early signing period if they hope to flip him?
I don't think it's necessary for them to get him on campus. I think he knows what they are. He's visited FSU, I think, probably more than any other place. He knows how he feels about those guys, that staff, JP, Norvell, all the guys that have been involved heavily in his recruitment. It would help it, Josh, if you had him on campus, because it's always a surge when you get him on campus. I know they would like to get him on campus. They're trying to see if he want to stop by and just spend a weekend or a day there or whatnot. But I don't think it's imperative for them to land him. I think a lot of it for me is just, and a lot of their confidence is kind of who they might hire. If you look at the Florida side of stuff, there's confidence that they could keep him. But I think really it's going to depend on that hire. I think it's got to be somebody that he either believes in or there's ties to him for, because that a lot of recruiting, when you do this stuff and you're making decisions, is about the relationships. And two, we have to, there has to be clarity of what Florida is going to do as far as their defensive coordinator, if that's an issue that could become open later. So I think that's something that a lot of factors that go into the Florida stuff.
Yeah. All right. Another five-star flip that's on our radar is Jeremiah Smith, the five-star wide receiver, the number one wide receiver in the country, committed to Ohio State. Now, he was on UF's campus Saturday to watch that Florida State win. What are you hearing on Smith coming out of this weekend?
I think it's been kind of similar to what we had from the Miami game. There's some momentum building. I think it's realistic now. It's the first time I've heard where it's realistic stuff within FSU, like, hey, like from the FSU side, it's like, yeah, we can actually pull this off. I think really FSU is the only team, in my opinion, that I've seen, that I've heard, that can pull a flip when it comes to Jeremiah Smith. I personally think it's FSU, Ohio State. I know Florida and Miami are both involved. Talked about maybe visiting Florida, but I think when you factor in everything, the season, the product, the relationships that Jeremiah has with this FSU staff, it's a very special one. And two, just the way they use the receivers, I think really impacts a guy like Jeremiah Smith. So I'm going to keep a close eye. I think we're going to know just about everything or close to it when he takes that official visit on that December 8th weekend, which is their big, recruiting weekend of the year. Yeah, I expect double-digit official visitors for that weekend. So it's going to be a big weekend following a potential ACC championship.
Yeah, so probably nothing going to go down between now and then, but that official visit to FSU in early December, that'll be the thing to watch right there. All right, we got to talk Armondo Blount. You guys all remember him. He was the 2025 five-star, committed to Miami. That was before he made a early October visit to Florida State. He enters the weekend as a 2025 recruit committed to Miami. He exits the weekend as a 2024 recruit. He reclassified, and he flipped his commitment to FSU. So with signing day only about 3 weeks away, Armondo Blount, the rumors are swirling that he's been in contact with Miami. How should FSU fans feel here, Mike? Is there concern that he could actually flip back to the Canes?
I don't think there's heavy concern. I think there's anytime there's, I'd say, slight concern for me. I talk to a lot of different contacts when it comes to Armondo, both from close to Armondo and people, from the FSU side, and even the people, from the Miami side. And the consensus, a lot of it was like, look, you got to watch this, you got to monitor it. I think my thing is he going to take a visit there? Is he going to take an official visit there? I think we know he's going to have one to FSU. So I think really just the key is just what materializes from this stuff of chatter. We know he's talked to him and met with him. We know FSU has also rebutted and stayed in contact with him, and that they know that they knew it was going to be a battle until Armondo signed. I mean, it's just what it is. They're a five-star in their backyard. They're going to go after him. So there is a little buzz as far as at least keeping the door open. But as of now, right now, I think FSU and the people around Blount feel that they still feel good about FSU. I mean, that's the kind of the consensus I got. But it's something we're going to have to monitor in the coming weeks, because there could be visits, there could be different twists, and he might visit somewhere else. I mean, you don't know. Yeah. It's just you have to monitor the next few weeks of how it goes. But certainly, it is a concern to a degree. But I wouldn't put it like high concern. I would just say slight concern as far as right now.
So FSU fans need to keep it on the radar. Is he slated to be a part of that December 8 big visit weekend?
That's the wording I've got, that was the weekend they expect him. So, yeah, I probably expect him in that December 8th weekend. Now, that could alter and shift.
Yeah.
If they feel like Miami could want to get that last visit, FSU might just say, no, we want you on December 16th. We're good. And make sure that's ironed out. But they're really good at doing those details, FSU, with when the kids visit in the proper time. I think we saw that a lot during the KJ Bolden recruitment. They really just set their visits up, still have an official with him. So I think they'll do kind of a similar thing with Armondo. They're going to make sure they protect themselves. But, they know that Miami is going to still battle until the end.
Yeah, this is where recruiting strategy comes into play, and you see all the pieces moving on the board. But we'll see how it shakes out. That big visit weekend, FSU fans will have an eye on it to see, one, if Jeremiah Smith's there, if Armondo Blount's there. Hey, maybe LJ McCray could get crazy up there in Tallahassee. Mike Langston from Warchant, thanks for stopping by today on the Inside Scoop.
Anytime, man.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.